March 31st, 2024 at 4:29 p.m. Moscow demands that Kiev surrender terrorism suspects. Russia has insisted that Ukraine hand over those it believes were involved in terrorist attacks, including its spy chief. Moscow has demanded that Ukraine surrender everyone in the country it suspects of terrorism, including Kiev's domestic spy agency boss, Vasily Malyuk, and to immediately stop supporting any related activities such individuals and groups undertake, the Russian Foreign Ministry announced on Sunday. The ministry said it had officially contacted Kiev with the demands under the UN-adopted International Convention for the Suppression of Terrorist Bombings and International Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism. The demands include the, quote, immediate arrest and extradition, unquote, of all the suspects which Moscow has identified and linked to the recent terrorist attacks against Russia. The deadly attack on the Crocus City Hall, which, quote, shocked the whole world, is by far not the first terrorist attack endured by our country recently, unquote, the ministry noted. Open quote. The investigations carried out by the competent Russian bodies indicate that the traces of all these crimes lead to Ukraine, close quote, it stressed. Apart from the concert hall attack, which left at least 144 people dead and more than 500 injured, the ministry cited such incidents as the assassination of the military blogger Maxim Fomin, best known for his pen name Vladlen Tatarsky, the deadly bombing of the Crimean Bridge, as well as recent cross-border raids into Belgorod region and elsewhere, which have been attributed by Kiev to the so-called Russian Volunteer Corps, RDK. The paramilitary unit, advertised as composed of Russians collaborating with Ukraine, has been designated as a terrorist entity by Moscow. The ministry did not reveal any of the names of those it has demanded due to their suspected involvement, aside from the head of the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, Vasily Malyuk. The spy boss, open quote, cynically admitted on March 25th that Ukraine organized the bombing of the Crimean Bridge in October 2022 and revealed details on the organization of other terrorist attacks in Russia, close quote, it noted. Failing to meet Russia's demands will constitute a breach of Ukraine's international obligations with respect to fighting terrorism and, open quote, entail its international legal responsibility, close quote, the ministry warned. Open quote, fighting against international terrorism is the responsibility of every state. The Russian side demands that the Kiev regime immediately stop any support for terrorist activities, hand over the perpetrators, and compensate for the damage done to the victims, close quote, it stressed. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description.